Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm gonna do a quick tutorial on Git. Alright, so as I mentioned in a previous video on 5 tips to get a job in web development, I said that GitHub and Git is really important for you guys right now because you have to make sure that you are uploading constantly so that potential employers like companies that want to hire you, they can see, okay, this guy is coding all the time, he's pushing up his code to his GitHub account. Also, you can share your code so they can see what are your kind of expertises, what are you working on at the moment, and yeah, as well, you know, if you guys don't know what's the main purpose of Git, basically Git allows you like to save your files. So let's say, for example, I'm just doing a quick comparison. Whenever you are playing a game, let's say, and you can do different saves while you are playing. So for example, you put a save in here before you do something to just make sure if you're gonna die, you can always go back to that point before. So Git is the same. When you are starting out a project or something, sometimes your code is working really well, and as you go further and further, all of a sudden, sometimes the code just doesn't work anymore, and you don't know what happened. So if you keep some saves, some commits, how Git calls it, yeah, you can just always go back to that commit that you had before, or you can compare your previous code with the code that you have at the moment and see what happened, what did changed. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna do a quick tutorial in here. So first of all, you guys should go and download Git. So download Git. And if you go in here to the official page, you can see that there is in here downloads for Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. Alright, so once you download and install it, you can basically, let me just get rid of this. Go in here to your desktop, it should be in there, and you have your Git bash. Okay, so if you open your Git bash, you can see this is like a kind of a terminal. All right, so if you don't know anything about terminals, don't worry, I'm going to cover you up. So first thing you can do is pwd. This stands for where you are at the moment, which kind of directory. All right, so in here, since this is kind of Linux, Unix, is different from Windows, you're going to put instead, for example, if you want to change to this directory where is your project, you can go in here and copy this location. So my project is in here on C, users, telmoasampaio, documents, okay? And I'm going to put in here cd, which stands for change directory. I'm going to do shift insert to copy what I did in there. But now notice that some of these folders, they have a space between the names. So whenever there is a space like this, you need to put double quotes like this. And since I copy this URL path from Windows and is different from the command line in here on the Git, you need to change this instead for a backlash to a /, okay? So I'm going to do the same. I think if you are using Mac or Linux, you don't need this. So you can just keep as it is. Look, web dev projects, there is some spaces in here between the names. So I'm going to put some double quotes. telmoasampaio in here the same. And okay, that should be fine. Okay, so if I do pwd again, I can see that I'm inside of my Git project folder. Great. Now I can also do ls, and I can see I list all my files inside. And at the moment I only have my index.html, which is completely empty. I'm going to just put something in here quickly. Okay, some standard HTML, and I'm going to put in here hello world. Okay, I'm going to open these up, and there it is. Okay, hello world. Now we need to initialize our Git to keep track of our files. So for that I'm going to do git init. So this is initializing my Git, okay? And what else? In here now you're gonna have your Git inside, which is invisible. Maybe you are not seeing this. If you want to see this, you can go in here to the top view, and then there is in here hidden items, and you can just like to see it, okay? And you're going to tell me now, oh, Telmo, but why should I use Git? I could just like save my files in different names and keep track of these things. But this is not like a good practice, because if you're going to keep like 50 files, 100 files, is not a good idea. So it's always better to keep everything inside of Git, and you can access and see the difference between files very quickly. All right, so first of all, to do our kind of saves in the files, we need to add our files to a kind of a staging area to make sure that we are tracking this file. So for that, I'm going to do something like this: git status, and in here it says there is no commits yet, and there is an untracked file index.html, which means that we are not tracking this file at the moment if you want to put some new things on it. So I can do something like this: git add, and I'm going to put index.html. Okay, so this way, if I put in here git status, there it is, new file index. So now this file is being tracked. Okay, all right, so I'm going to put in here in my file now I'm going to put a paragraph. And I'm going to put something like this: this is a paragraph. All right. And okay, let me go in here. I'm going to put git status again. And now it says in here, the modified file index.html. So let's put a save for our initial file. So I'm going to put to a save. Yeah, first of all, let me just put in here something like this. If you guys, when you are going to do kind of saves, you want to make sure that you have your name and your email, because if you're going to be working with other people, they always want to know who was the person that did this kind of saves, these commits, and what is his email if I want to contact him, okay? So we can do something like this: git config --global username, and then I can put something like this: telmoasampaio. Okay, so I'm not going to put this one because I already have on my computer. So this is how you can set up your username. And now if you want to do the same for the email, you can just go in here, something like this, email, and then you can put your email in here. Okay, so something like telmoasampaio@gmail.com. okay, so you can set up your username and your email like this. All right, so now I'm going to put something like this: git add index.html, and I'm going to put my first commit, my first save, -m, and I'm going to put something like this: first files on the project, something like this. But you should always put some meaningful comments that if you go back, you know what's going on in here. Okay, so we did this one, and now if I do git log, look, there is a commit, and this is the ID of the commit. Each commit that you're going to do, each kind of save, they will have a unique, this long number, each kind of a unique identifier. And then you got the author, which is telmoasampaio, and the email. And also you got the date and the comments of the commit. Okay, we got something like this. Now let's say that I'm gonna add something in here. I'm just gonna put something, for example, I'm gonna start and I'm gonna create a new file. I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to save as, and I'm going to put something in here, CSS, and inside I'm going to put this main.css. Oops, don't know what happened in there. New file, and I'm going to save it as inside, and I'm going to put main.css. Okay, right, this is what I want. Get rid of this one that I did by mistake, and I'm going to put in here, for example, I'm going to put in here a class of color green, and I'm going to put in here, I want the background color to be green and the color of the text to be white. Okay, and I'm going to add this one in here, class color green. Refresh the page, and oh, it's not working because I forgot to just put in here my link reference. So it's going to be inside of a CSS, and it's going to be in here main.css. Okay, let's go in here, refresh, and there it is. So our paragraph is with a background color of green and text white. So now if I go in here to Git again and I do Git status, it says in here that we have a modified file, index.html, and we got some untracked files inside of our CSS folder. Okay, so if you want to add all of your files instead of just doing git add index.html or whatever, you can just add all your files with a simple thing, something like this. So I'm going to put git add, and you can put this one, the multiplication, this kind of star, you know. So this is going to add all your files to the staging area. Okay, and I'm going here git status. So we got a new file, css main.css, that we added, and we got a modified file since our last commit, and is the index.html. So I'm going to save this again, and I'm going to put something like this, git commit -m, and okay, what can I do? I'm going to put in here added CSS file. Okay, and this is another save, another commit that we did. Okay, so now let's say that I'm just like continue to work, and I'm gonna put in here something like these two divs. For example, let's say that I want to put two divs in here, and I want to put these called box, and I'm gonna put this width 50%. I'm gonna put this 40%, and I'm gonna put in here background color light blue. So I'm gonna put this one in here, class box, and I'm gonna do the same in here. And inside I'm gonna put a paragraph saying this is a test, and I'm gonna do the same in here. This is a test too. Let me refresh. Okay. No, actually I just want to keep one of these. Okay, let me just like do this, refresh. Okay, so we got this div in here with the background color of blue and two paragraphs inside, and let's say that I'm just working on, and all of a sudden I deleted this by mistake. So I'm going on and I say, wow, why is this not working anymore? I don't know. I'm going in here and I'm going to put git add star. So I add all the files, and then I'm going to put git commit -m, and I'm going to put added class box. Okay, and I'm going in here now, and I'm going to do git log. Okay, so my git log keeps track, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but it keeps track of all your file saves, all your commits. And this is our last one, and you can see in here the unique identifier. It was made by Telmo, the email, the time, and yeah, added class box, added CSS file, first project. And I want to see now the difference between my last commit and the other one just right before. I want to see the difference between the files. All right, so now if I just do git diff, and I'm going to do the difference between my last commit before this is the latest one, and I want to do, because in the latest one, as you can see, my paragraph is not green anymore, and I want to find out why. So I'm going here and I'm going to do a git diff. So between this one, so I can just copy this out, and I'm going here and I'm going to paste it. Oops, I can just like do shift insert. No, okay, git diff, where is it? This is the one. Okay, so git diff, shift insert, and I'm going to put head, which is the latest one. Okay, so I'm going to see the difference between my last commit and the one just right before it. Okay, so what can we see in here? We can see in here that all these pluses, look, okay, so as I was saying, look, now that is in here, we added all these files in here, and then look, in here we kind of got rid of this one, and instead we got all of these new files. Not files, sorry, all of these new code, okay? And as you can see, look, this paragraph in here is different from the one on the top because it's missing a O from color in here. And as you can see, if I go in here now and I put this and I go back in here, now it's working. As you can see, so this is a good way for you to keep the track of the changes that happens between your files. And yeah, basically you got everything of these like almost covered. I know there is so much more things about Git, and I'm not going to cover everything in this video, but I'm just going to do something more quickly in here now. Is you should start your own GitHub account. It's very easy. You can just go in here and sign up, and once you sign up and you put your picture and everything, you can go in here on this, and you can go in here and you do profile, and you can go in here to repositories, and we're going to create a new one. Okay, and I'm going to call this YouTube-git-tutorial. Okay, so YouTube-git-tutorial, this is what's going to be. Description, I don't want to put any description. You guys can put if you want. You can put a readme. I don't want to put a readme for now. So I'm just going to create this repository. And now in here, there is in here a code. Okay, so in here, this URL is going to be https github tsampaio whatever. So in here now, you can put something like this. Just, it says in here everything. So you can put like git remote add origin. Okay, so we're going to do exactly what is in. Alright, so now if we want to push this to our repository on GitHub, I can just do something like this. Git remote add, I think was something like this, git remote add origin. So basically the master is going to be on your local repository on your computer, and the origin is called whatever is on your GitHub, you know, on your GitHub website, the account. So git remote, I think I forgot something in here, git remote add origin, yeah, and then we're going to put the code. So we added our origin, and then now we should put something like this, where it is, git push u. Okay, so I'm going here and I'm going to put git push u origin master. Okay, so this is going to push our code to the origin, to the GitHub. Okay, and there it is. Probably if this is your first time, it's going to ask you to put the login for your GitHub that you just created. Since I have done this before, it's not asking me my login. Okay, so if I go in here now to my page, tsampaio, and I'm going here to my repositories, and I have in here my youtube.git tutorial. Okay, and as I can see in here, look, there is a CSS folder, an index file, and it says in here that it has 3 commits. So we have the first files on the project, added CSS file, and added class box, whatever we have been working before. So you can just click on it and see what has been changed. So show one changed file. Where is it again? If I go in here, this one now, look, everything is in here, color green. And yeah, basically this was just like a quick tutorial for you guys to understand a little bit more about Git and GitHub and how you can push the things to your GitHub account. And yeah, probably I can even do a later video on how can you work with other people and how can you work in the same project, so you can add a bit of your code and another person will add a bit of code as well, and you can merge everything together. But yeah, I just want to keep this one quite short, this video, and I hope you guys could understand and learn a little bit about it. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video.